What's up everyone, Findeisen here from Holistic Songwriting. In this second part of Pulling the Lever, we're going to go deeper into marketing yourself as a musician. What does it mean to pull the lever? I want to introduce you to a way of thinking that has completely transformed my business, and I see this as the reason why my YouTube channel has grown so much over the past year. And, same as last episode, we're going to use some holistic learning to reach this conclusion. So let's talk about dating, because that's where I learned this lesson. As a teenager, I was always very unsuccessful with the opposite sex until I learned two valuable mindsets. Two mindsets that directly translate to music, as you're about to see. First, and weirdly enough, this had never occurred to me before, I started to ask myself, how would it look from her perspective? How would I come across, and how would that make her feel? I realized I was too needy. I had this romanticized idea of love at first sight, and it would fall head over heels with girls I barely knew. It wasn't until I put myself in her shoes that I realized that this didn't come across as dedication. It only made me seem creepy, and in hindsight, maybe I was a little creepy. The same thing is probably happening to you in your music career right now. You want success too much. When selling your music, you treat it like proposing to someone on the first date. You try to sell too quickly. In other words, you come across as needy. In dating and selling, the rule is to be cool and make sure the other person is having a good time. If they're having a good time and don't feel pressured into anything, they'll come back for more. It's a clear win-win situation. If you go back to my very first episode of the Artist Series, I very clumsily tried to sell my book. I remember being very worried at this point that the months of work I'd put into this one video wouldn't pay off. Now, luckily, that video was a big success, but it wasn't until episode 3 that holistic songwriting really started to blow up. Coincidentally, the Ed Sheeran episode was also the first episode where I didn't try to sell anything. And I was terrified making that episode. So much work goes into these videos. Not directly selling anything would mean people would have to do some work of their own to find out about my products. What I didn't realize was that selling stuff can be a real turnoff. As I said, it's like proposing on the first date. And while I believe my heart was in the right place and I loved making those videos, I was still afraid. I was fighting for an income. Now that my audience and I have built a relationship, I feel much more confident selling a course or my book. And that's the same in love. Dating is very different from being in a relationship. Dating, or initial marketing, is all about making sure that the other person has a great time without applying any kind of pressure. Being in a relationship is where trust, reliability, kindness come into play. The biggest takeaway from all this is, ask yourself how you come across. See yourself through the eyes of someone who doesn't know you, and you'll learn a lot. We're going to continue this thought next month. Until then, take care and stay gefährlich.